Hello, this is Frudakis. Here's my ID. Today I'm going to go over Lab6 for microprocessors. Alright, so this one right here for Lab6 is the touch sensor, and it's correlated to the green LED. And once I touch it, that green LED should stay on, and when I untouch it, it still stay on. So the next time I touch it, it turns it off. So it holds that value. This one right here is the light sensor. If I cover it with a shadow, this red LED should turn on. And this one right here is a temperature sensor. If I hold on to it and make it a little bit warm, this yellow one should turn on. So we're going to go ahead and test the green one. I should just touch it from the side. Touch it. Untouch it. Touch it. Untouch it. One more time. Touch it. Untouch it. There we go. So that one works. Next one, I have the flashlight coming from my phone. You already saw there, I put a little bit of a shadow over it and it turns on. But if I put my finger over it like that, it turns on pretty nicely. Take it off, put a shadow on again. If I even put a small shadow over it, it'll start flickering and get a good reading. This next one right here, if I hold down this for a little bit, it'll turn yellow, and it won't turn back off immediately. It'll take a few seconds, microseconds even, to turn off. That means it's cooling down. So I'm gonna go ahead, give it some warmth, hold it for a little bit, and then it turns off a little bit afterwards. And that's just temperature. So that's how that works. Again, I'm gonna go through all them one more time. That one. Not touching it, I'm all the way up here. Touch, turn on, touch, turn off. Alright, and we're gonna go ahead and go look at the code that I wrote. Okay, this is the code that I have written for Lab6. We only had to make a couple changes up here. We didn't have to do too much. Nothing at all, actually. And where we begin is down here. So this was given to us. This is for testing the light. Right here, this line of code right here is the dead zone. So if this lighting value is between this number and that number, nothing really is going to happen. And that helps prevent the flickering of the red LED that we saw previously. Because if there's no dead zone, the computer, the processor has a hard time figuring out if it should be on or if it should be off. So if we give it a distinct area of where nothing should happen, it'll have a better understanding of when the light should be on and when the light should be off. And here, when it's at this value, the light's going to be on if dark, and here it's going to be off if there's light going to it. Down here is my written explanation for that. Over here, this is the temperature control, so this was the one all the way to the right. And we were tasked with making the dead zone between these two numbers. So as we can see again, when it's in between these two numbers, nothing happens. If it's within this range, then we're gonna have the LED turn on. If it's anything else, the LED is gonna be off. That was the temperature one, so that was when I would hold it, and it had that delay cycle here of 200, and that's how we got the light to hold a little bit. Down to the third section, we have the touch control LED, and that was the green one. Here we put a dead zone between 0.7 and 0.9. That's what we were told to do. Here, the flag is what's important. This is how we keep the green light on when we're not touching it, so it holds that value. And so it's basically the same thing as the other two, where we have this dead zone. We have, if it's in this range, do this. If it's in that range, do that. But the flag here is what's important and how we keep the light on without touching it. And then down here is all the other code that we were given. And then other than that, we should be good. Alright, thank you guys.